Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, commodities, ETFs that I follow. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into these topics, deeper into individual companies, how to play the commodity bull market that we're in, and precious metals. And I dive a little bit deeper than this high level stuff that we do in the technical updates that we do on a daily here. We still have May Day coupon code if you're interested in joining, which will give you a discount. So let's dive in. Let's take a look, see what is going on today. We're going to start with the dollar here. And you can see I've got the lighter background DXY. We are getting a little bit of a bounce off the bottom. We're down today, 0.55%, but we did get a little bit of a rally towards the end of the day. That's this little rally towards the back end there. Is that enough to push us higher? That is something we're going to be watching the next couple trading days. We want to see what this bounce looks like. Um, what I've seen in history, and I'll just share what I've seen. This is broken out from this uptrend line, so we've broken lower. A lot of the times, the move wants to come up and do a retest of the breakout, is what we call it, or a back test, however you want to label it. What happens there is you'll get a couple of trading days that come up and then it rolls back over again. So that's my guess of what could potentially come over the next few trading sessions. The 2-year yield, it's already getting that little bounce there, but this has broken the trend line. And I threw that trend line in there. You can squeeze it up a little bit here if you were to do the closing prices or something, somewhere in the lines around there. We've broken through that to the downside. We are coming back up uh, recently. So we have a little bit of upward momentum there. And what I think will occur, and this is just me guessing, but I think we'll come up a little bit and probably roll back over. The reason that I don't think it's sustaining is we just broke out of this pattern here. And yes, we do have a little wick at the bottom, which generally indicates the bounce, but I don't think the bounce will be, this bounce might not be long lasting. It might just be a relief bounce where we roll on over. So I would be patient here. Just because we go up doesn't mean that we are going to go back into the pattern. I would just be patient if it were me. The 10-year yield's down a little bit. We are getting that little bounce today, but the momentum is overwhelmingly lower. Lower, lower, lower is the momentum. So in order to overcome such great momentum, it's going to take a lot. We either base sideways or whatnot, but we've just freshly broken out of this uptrend. I'm in the camp that we go lower with time. The 30-year yield also, it's broken out of its trend line, upward trend line. And again, we're getting a little bit of a bounce today, which what the wick at the bottom is, but momentum is overwhelmingly lower. We've got TYX TNX ratio. We do have a little bit of a reversal candlestick here, which means we could head a little bit lower, kind of that relief move in the system with yields maybe coming back up for a period of time, and maybe this comes back down before heading higher. But we are at a very low level here, and most of the time when this works its way on up, it's going through a slowdown in the market. The slowdown might not be immediate. It might hit somewhere over here. Maybe it's months away or weeks away. I'm not exactly sure. But last time we were at this circle, we worked our way back up. The COVID crash occurred here when it really started moving up. So I do think that we could very well do something very similar to that. Precious metals, gold in particular, is the one that I would be looking at. TLT also working its way on up a little bit. We gapped higher and we lost some momentum throughout the day. That's why the candlestick is red. And this looks good to go higher. So lower yields and higher bond prices over a period of time. That does not mean every day is up. It doesn't mean that we just go rocketing. What it means is higher highs and higher lows. The 2 and 10, we are at support. So this big support level, the white line going across there, that is at support, and we're right on top of it. We're very close to the yield curve uninverted. We are basically flat, where the 2-year equals the 10-year. We're at 1.018%. We tapped 1.0 right there. We tapped it with all that fear in the market. Now we could get a bounce here, and we'll see what the bounce looks like. We're on support. Gold is down, sell everything event, but we did put a pretty big wick at the bottom there. So we have some momentum coming back up off that bottom. And again, this is where I would be looking because of the market conditions, and I think this will continue higher over time. Now, if we're still in this panic, sell everything type of event, yeah, it could go lower. But overall, I am very positive on gold. And yes, I am positive on silver, and I know it was down 3.8% today. I understand that. But we are sitting chart-wise at a very, very good location. This is a good spot to be looking. This is a retest move of a monster breakout. And it's holding up in the face of basically sell everything you can find type of environment, much like 2008, 2020, some of those types of areas. So I do think this will go up, even though we were down today. And I think the market conditions are right for that to occur. Platinum also down, the sell everything event hitting most everything. Momentum is still downward right now in the short term. Support down here in the upper 800s. Palladium also down. We have a little wick at the bottom. And we are a little bit below that support level. We'll see if we get back up or if we continue lower and everyone continues to crap themselves for whatever reason, the yen carry trade unwinding, whatever it is. GDX is down 3%. GDXJ is down 3.7 and SILJ is down 4.8. Backing out, they still look good. They're in consolidations, is what I would say. Consolidation, and yes, we can move around here wherever it goes. But overall, I still think they look very good. They are well poised for a move higher. They're underneath resistance, knocking on the resistance. That's what we want to see. We've got a basing pattern. We usually base before we go high in space. So they all have them. They all have that nice formation for the precious metals miners. XEU to gold ratio, we are down today. I get it. We came back down, but this is going to make me even more bullish, guys. It's going to make me more bullish, more bullish, more bullish. We're doing almost like a full retest, and we're at a very low level for the mining companies. So I think we've got a lot of upside potential, and we've broken the downtrend. That guy there. And the market conditions are right for this to occur under. Of course, I'm going to be bullish. Crude oil actually ended up 0.3%, nice big wick. We've got some big selling pressure moves behind this candlestick here. I'm just going to say let's wait and see what the next few trading days look like. We do have support underneath us, which is all in the 60s here, 69 and 63 or 4. It's holding on. We are drawing on crude inventories, so we have deficits. Inventories are low. The sector looks good, but we've got a mess all around the markets here. The macro picture is a mess. So there could be selling pressure that hits oil, depending on how this mess resolves. I'm kind of just waiting to see. TTF is down, or is up is down 2.59%, but still looks good to work its way on higher. It's not a huge reversal candlestick. It still looks okay. And then we got natural gas down 1.37% right on support. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, down 2.8% or so. We do have a pretty big selling pressure candlestick here. Is this a false breakout where we go higher? Or is this a beginning move where we could head lower for a period of time? That's a difficult one to answer. But if I were to guess, I think we go lower before we go higher if the yield curve uninverts. Um, the sector fundamentals are good, which really muddies the water here. But markets, if you look in history, we usually get kind of a selling pressure event at the beginning of these things, and I think we could maybe still be in it. And I don't see clear signs of this thing just ripping yet. See how we've fallen here? There's a lot of downside momentum, and I don't think it's just going to turn and rip. So I'm in the camp. It's like, you know what? Just be patient here. See if we trade sideways, get a base going. I just don't want to jump in front of this momentum. You're trying to catch a falling knife. You just don't want to do that, in my opinion. OIH, you're down 3.75. Another look at the move. Boom, boom, boom. You know, like those impulse moves lower. Gap. So we did this. We gap down. We gap down. Those gaps. Again, I'm not going to mess with this. Let's just wait. We do have a big red candlestick, and it is below the trend line. Let's just see what data we get over the next, few trading sessions at least. Newcastle Coal working sideways, but this looks pretty constructive. You kind of come and you get these bowl-shaped patterns. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Profitability Uranium Trust down 3.3%. We're kind of towards the bottom of this trend line that I copied down here. We do have a low wick at the bottom, but again, guys, with the yield curve inverted and potentially uninverting, I'm just going to be patient. Uranium futures pricing looks like it's back right inside the pattern there. We've got URA down 2 point something percent. It's had a pretty big fall here. I'm going to wait, guys. I don't jump in front of this stuff. Just wait for the momentum to change. And yes, the momentum was changing today, but it's not a long enough time frame. And when I was a younger investor, I tried to time these things, and it always ended in disaster. So let it base out. Let it find some sure footing. A lot of the times these bounce come up and then they roll over again. They create like inverted flag patterns and then they roll back over, whatever it is. URNM also getting a good bounce today from its lows, but still a lot of downside momentum. And we'll see where this thing holds on. And URNJ doing the same thing. URNJ's got a lot of good support right where it's at. There's some good support here, and we'll see if it holds. But the momentum undoubtedly is going down, and today we're going to see what kind of bounce we get over the next couple trading sessions. Copper down 2.3%. It's got a wick at the bottom, and we are getting close to support. So that is looking a little bit better. And we'll see what occurs. COPX also down 3.8%, getting close to that support level, almost a full retest. And maybe that's all we're doing are some retests here. Maybe that's all that's in store for us. Iron ore moving sideways, up 0.6%. Still looks good. It's holding on and it's pretty strong at the moment. Aluminum moving sideways. It's holding on. Momentum is still down. We got to base out for a little bit at support. Nickel down 0.6%. And again, I wouldn't jump in front of this. Just let it base first. Let it base. Mu down 1.5%. We're back to support. And we've had some pretty good momentum in the past few trading sessions. Let's wait and see what the bounces look like. And emerging markets down 2.88. Momentum's heading higher, at least intraday. But again, the momentum's downward. And then KRE down 2.75 back to support. TAN down 2.66. That looks pretty rough for TAN. Lit right back to that support level of about $36. So we'll see if it holds. Momentum's lower at the moment. On REMX, also lower, momentum's to the downside, and we were down about 2.73%. We've got Baltic Dry Index heading a little bit lower. That's also being impacted by the sell everything event. XHB down 3% on the daily. And again, the momentum's to the downside. We did get a little bit of recovery towards the end of the day, so we could see some upward action continue, and we'll see if it has any follow through next couple trading sessions. Russell 2000's down 3.33%. We're back within the pattern. Pretty big bearish engulfing here, almost like we're being held lower. We've got the S&P 500 also lower, down 3%. Lots of downside momentum. I just don't jump in front of these things. We also have a little bit of a squeeze up going on, and that has broken for sure after today. So that is definitely a downward move there. And then NASDAQ also with a little throw over top, big selling pressure all through here. Heading lower, and that could very well head lower. The momentum's to the downside. We did get a bounce here recently towards the end of the day. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but momentum's lower. SMCI is down 2.5%, still looks pretty rough. Momentum lower. NVIDIA down 6%, momentum lower. A lot of the times the potential tops, you'll get a wick at the top. You'll usually get a big red candlestick here. It fails to go up very much, and then you get into a bearish engulfing. That's like, hey, we're ready to go lower here. And then when this all sells off, it can impact every single sector in the market. BTC down 9%, but we're still within this pattern, and you can see that the lower trend line did support. That's what that is there, and it held. If you look at the dailies, you can see we hit support here and worked our way back up, and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. If we can hold or if it blows back out to the downside. Ethereum also at support too. So we'll see what occurs there. So lots of selling pressure across the board the past few days. Thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you like. Mayday coupon if you want to use the coupon code. And yeah, it's been a rough 3-4 trading sessions. These past 3 trading sessions have been pretty rough, probably for a lot of people. I'm riding through this with a good chunk, and then I'm also positioned in other things that offset it. So yeah, we're doing all right, and let's ride through this thing together, guys. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.